Hello, I would like to wish all our veterans a happy Veterans Day and also thank you for your service. We don't want to forget our loved ones that served with us. They spent a lot of time supporting us throughout our military careers, so therefore they served as well, and let's not forget them. So with that being said, please enjoy my upcoming educational video. Thank you. Hello, my name is Dwayne Kimball, owner and founder of KMD 89 and VA Claims Consultant, Leave No Vet Behind, and also I'm a United States Army veteran. Today I'm bringing you another video as it pertains to the VA disability compensation claims process. And today I'm going to be talking about licensed healthcare providers, okay? So before we get into today's video, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification button. And don't forget, you can find us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter. And again, our website is kmd89.com, kmd89.com, and you can find that link in the description section. So you want to make sure you go to our website and get signed up for our monthly Veterans Roundtable, which is every third Thursday of each month at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So Today I'm going to be talking about licensed healthcare providers as defined by the VA. Been talking to a lot of veterans and they say, oh, I went to my CMP exam, I got denied, and oh, it was done by a physician assistant, or it was done by a nurse practitioner. So we're going to cover VA's definitions of licensed healthcare providers and who can do some DBQs. Now, as it pertains to who can do different DBQs, we're not going to do a deep dive, but I just want to make a particular point as it pertains to two different licensed healthcare providers, okay? So like in most of my videos, I have some slides. I went out to the M21 and the 38 CFR, did a little bit of research, so I'm going to share that with you and talk through some of these items, okay? So slide number one. Here in slide number one, it's a 38 CFR, okay? And the majority of the slides I show is the M21 that I've discussed in other videos why I like the M21, even though it is not regulation, okay? But it's a good tool to do a quick search so you can get to a regulation, okay? Or a court case or something like that, okay? Now, this particular one is a 38 CFR, talks about deductible medical expenses. Don't get too hung up on the topic, but we're going to look at some of the criteria or information in this regulation, okay? So if you go down, it says definitions for the purpose of this section, healthcare providers means an individual licensed by a state or country. You didn't think about that, right? By a state or country to provide health care in that state or country in which the individual provides the health care. The term includes, but is not limited to, a physician, physician assistant, psychologist, chiropractor, registered nurse, licensed vocational nurse, licensed practical nurse, and physical or occupational therapist, or, and I forgot to put it in red, a nurse's assistant or home health aide who is supervised by a licensed healthcare provider. Okay, so let's just run through those again. They have, physician, physician assistant, psychologist, chiropractor, registered nurse, licensed vocational nurse, licensed practical nurse, and physical or occupational therapist or a nursing assistant. So again, I get told by so many veterans hey, I got denied. And when I went to the C&P exam, it was done by a nurse practitioner. Guess what? They can do it at C&P exam. Okay? They can do a C&P exam. Nurse practitioner, physician assistants, they can. Per the VA, they can do it. Okay? So if that happens, again, you have to get educated on what you're doing. But one thing that I want to point out in this particular slide was they said state and country. I have a lot of vets that live out of the country. I've had clients that live in Japan, France, certain African countries, Colombia, South America, Mexico, and surprisingly, those vets, they get treated by what? Licensed healthcare providers in those countries. So let's just say they're in those countries and they need a DBQ. They can go to VA's website, right? And they can get those DBQs completed. And let's just say a VSR, our VSR at the VA said, nope, this doctor's out of the country. Guess what that 38 CFR is talking about, okay? Now, even though it says for deductible expenses, again, there's other M21 references that detail a little bit more as it pertains to licensed healthcare providers, okay? So I told you I had 2 slides. Slide number 2. And here is slide number 2. This is the, it's an M21 reference, okay? It talks about review of DBQs. Now, this video is not specifically about DBQs or any one DBQ, but the reason why I wanted to share this is it says review DBQs to ensure the healthcare provider meets any specialty requirement for the examination conducted, and the DBQ is sufficient for rating purposes. You heard me say that before, actionable and sufficient, okay, for rating purposes. A lot of times veterans submit DBQs or a nexus statement and they think it's actionable and sufficient, and it is not, okay? But what I have highlighted here in red, note, DBQs completed by a licensed healthcare provider, which was defined in that previous slide, to include a nurse practitioner or physician assistant, are acceptable for VA examinations. Okay, let me read that again. DBQs completed by a licensed healthcare provider to include a nurse practitioner or physician assistant are acceptable for VA examinations. So there you have it. Again, talk to a lot of veterans and they say, oh, my C&P exam was done by a nurse practitioner or physician assistant. The VA is saying, yeah, they can do that. But also they're letting you know that if you want to do, have a nurse practitioner or physician assistant to do a DBQ, you can do that as well, all right? And in the first slide, they talked about licensed healthcare providers in state, licensed in a particular state, and, or country, or country, all right? So definitely keep that in mind. So if you're not living here in the continental US, you're living in a different country, again, go out to the M21, go out to the 38 CFR, review this information. And again, like in my last video, I stated that these M21 references, they change from time to time. Okay, you'll see some with a change date. I've went in, I've copied some and did slides and went back maybe 8-9 months or a year later and tried to look for that particular information, and it's no longer there. It's either they removed it or took some wording out of it, or it's a whole new number, M21 reference number altogether. So again, look at the number, the M21-1 number, but also look at the name of it, okay? Because some things change from time to time, all right? So at the time of this video, when I did that research, that information was there. Now, as it pertains to other DBQs, who can do an initial mental DBQ, who can do a review for a mental DBQ, all that information is in the M21 and 38 CFR. And guess what? To my surprise, I was just having to look at, I think it was the M21 that was talking about when I was doing the research for this video, it was talking about who can do a review mental examination. And guess who was in there? A nurse practitioner. So I didn't do a deep dive into it because I want to go and look at that actual DBQ to see if that was one of the licensed healthcare providers on the DBQ that was allowed to complete that DBQ, or if they were just talking about a regular exam or something like that, okay? But again, as I'm doing research for one video, I'll stumble across some other things, okay? And I can automatically see some things have changed. So I always tell veterans, hey, if you're looking at this video, you know, months down the road, look at not only the number, but the name, and you may have to go and do your research. And then you can see how that particular 38 CFR and M21 is going to impact what you're doing with your claim, okay? So with that being said, please like, subscribe, hit that notification button. Don't forget to go to our website, go to the classes, and I'll link the registration page for our monthly VA roundtable, okay? Normally, I'll upload that link about a week before the roundtable, and we have that veteran roundtable every third Thursday of every month at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you have to show your video. If you're not showing your video, you will be removed, okay? So if I don't see you in my next Veterans Roundtable, I'll see you in my next educational video. Thank you.